Hi, I'm Magnus. Recently I built this shelf to have everything up on the shelf and use the ceiling height of 3.6 meters. If you want to see how I made it, just keep watching.
The first step was to make the sides, which consists of 2 long pieces and some cross braces. I will need 4 sides that will be connected with the shelves. The legs are made from 45 by 95 material, that is roughly 2 by 4, and the cross braces is 2 by 3, which is 45 by 70 millimeters. When it was time to cut the cross braces, I used a stop lock on my miter saw. This helped me get a lot of pieces at the same length. There was a lot of cross braces to cut. When all the pieces were cut, it was time to measure out the distance from the bottom up to the middle shelf. My plan was to attach the cross braces with glue and screws, and to prevent the pieces from sliding around with the glue, I started with attaching one screw and then loosen it again before adding the glue. Before adding the second screw, I checked for square. One done, 3 more to go. I wanted to try an old YouTube trick. And it worked! Oh yeah! Then it was time to start building the shelf. I attached the sides to the wall with just one screw at the top, and I did that for 2 reasons. First, it was easier for me to build the shelf, and second, it prevents the shelf from tipping. I started with the top shelf, and I used a method called relative dimensioning, which is basically measuring of the piece you're working on rather than the plans. I cut all the pieces for the top shelf to the same dimension, and then used one of the pieces in the front end with clamps to make sure that the shelf were straight. Then it was just to start attaching the boards with some glue and brad nails. Before attaching the last board at each shelf, I ripped it down to size in order to make it flush at the front end. Then it was just to rinse and repeat. I decided to use glue on the shelf instead of screws to make the whole shelf much sturdier, and the brad nails that don't add a lot of strength but hold the pieces in place while the glue sets. And I want to give a special thank you to all of my subscribers. And by the way, also check out these awesome channels. The shelf was not really finished yet, but I started to load it with stuff anyway. This way I could get rid of stuff from the floor, and also it was much easier to see where to place the next shelf. I also reclaimed the wood from my old pallet in order to build a new pallet. The pallet will be customized in size to fit the tires for my car. And there was also room for the winter tires for my trailer. I also added some small hooks here and there and started filling up the shelf. And I also added a couple of more shelves. Thanks for watching. And while you're at it, check out some more. And don't forget to subscribe.